Welcome to my CSS beginners series. In this episode, we're going to talk about background properties in CSS. There are 5 basic background properties you can apply to your website. The first one happens to be background color, which you're all familiar with. So we can add a background color to a website or our website elements like text, or even the whole web page. Background image, you can add an image or set a background image for your website. We have background positions. You can position elements on your web page. You can position them to the center, to the left, right, top, or bottom. We have background repeat. You can make an element repeat itself on a web page. Let's say you set a background image, you can make it repeat itself several on a web page. We have background attachment, and this is where, or this is what allows us scroll a page and we still have our background image attached to the web page without it scrolling along with the text. All this is theory. Let me take you to the code editor so that we can practicalize this whole concept. We can make it visually so we know how it works, okay? Because we want to know how these properties work. So I'll take you to my code editor, and I created a file called background.html. I also created a style sheet, which is style.css. I've linked my background.css, my background.html to my style.css. That means any style I put inside my style.css is going to affect my background.html. Let's go to our background.html, and inside our body, we're going to put div here. Okay, so put div, and then let's close it up. Please, let's open it up this way. Good. Now inside this div, we're going to give it a class. Okay, so give it class equal to, and here let's put bg. Okay, let's put bg there. Good. So bg stands for background. Okay, so this is my class. Now we have a container, which is a div, and I hope you're all familiar with containers. Div is a container. Okay, let's go to our CSS, and we're going to target this class called bg. So I'll take you to CSS, and then inside this CSS we're going to put our class there. So first of all, we put dot bg because it's a class. We open it up this way. Now I'm going to help you see what is happening with our container, which is div, because containers are not visually, or they don't appear on the web browser until you put things inside it. Okay, so just bear with me. So for now, I'm going to give my div a height. Okay, so this is not part of our lesson, so just follow me. So I'm going to give it a height of something like 600 pixels. Okay, and then I'll give it a width. This will help us see our div. Okay, so I'm going to make it like a box. Okay, so with our width, let's give it 100% web browser size. When you put 100%, it will take the whole width of the web browser. Okay, regardless the browser they use or the device they are using. Okay, good. So something like this. Now, because I want you to see it on the browser, let's give it border. So I'm going to give it border like 2 pixel, and then I'm going to give it solid. So solid, 2 pixels solid. Now let's go to our web browser, and then let's reload this page. Good. Now we have background.html. So this is the file we created, And this is my project folder. Okay, I open it up inside my browser. Okay, you can see my subfolder, you can see my CSS file, everything is displayed here. You can even view your CSS code. Okay, when you click on it, you'll be able to view your code. You can see your code here. All right, so this is what is going to allow us render our project on our browser. So I'll click on background.html, and you can see we have a big, this is a div. Okay, that's our div. So we give it some styling, height, and a width, and then we give it some border so that we can see. It's the border that is helping us to see this. You can see this line, this box. Okay, so that's the border, and we made it solid. Okay, so let's continue with today's agenda. We're going to talk about backgrounds. Okay, background properties. So the first property we're going to be talking or discussing is background color. And I hope you're all familiar with background color, because since I started with these CSS projects, I've been using background color. So this is not a first time hearing something like background color. So let's go ahead and give it a background color, and guess it, my favorite background color, aqua. Let's go to our web browser, reload this page, and as you can see, we have a background color here, and it only applies to our box, which is our div. Okay, excellent. So we're done with the first property, background color. Fantastic. Let's talk about the second property, which is background image. So we're going to apply, or we're going to give this particular box an image called a background image. So I'll take you to the code editor, and I created a folder called img, which is image, and this is where my image is. Okay, I have an image inside it. Good, fantastic. Now let's go ahead and see how we're going to add our background image. So you come beneath it and put background, and guess it, this time we put image. Okay, so put background image. Now your background or your image lives somewhere, and so we need to give it a path. Okay, so to give our path, you put URL, and then brackets. Now inside here, where is your image? So my image lives inside a folder called img. So I'll put img like this, / and inside that img I have an image called illustration.jpg. Okay, jpg. So I'll go inside here and then type my illustration dot. Good. So now we have a background image. Let's go to our web browser. Let's reload this page, and as you can see, we have a background image. Fantastic. Now there's a problem here. Our background image is repeated on the website. You can see part of it is here, part of it is here, part of it is here, and there are two here. This is what we don't want. We want our background image to only be one on the website or on the web page. So what do? This is where background repeat comes in. So this brings us to the third property, background property, which is background repeat. Okay, so I've jumped, which is background position. So for now, let's talk about background repeat. Okay, after that we'll talk about the background position. So we are talking about background repeat. Let's come down and then type background repeat, which is here. Good. Now because the image is repeating itself, let's go ahead and then put no repeat. Okay, put no repeat. So when you put no repeat and reload, now you can see the image is not repeating. You can see that Let me take you back to the code editor and explain something to you. This is the code editor. You can see our background repeats. We set it no repeat. With this repeat, you can decide to make it repeat instead of no repeat. If you did not put background repeat there, automatically the image is going to be repeated. Okay, now let's go back to our web browser, reload this page, and as you can see, the image is repeated. Now I want to explain something to you very quickly. Good. So with the repeat property, we have no repeat, we have repeat, and we have repeat on axis. Now let me talk to you about axis. So I'll quickly take you to my image here. Remember the X and Y axis they taught you back at school? Today you're going to be making good use of that knowledge. This is our X and Y axis, and we have from left to right as X axis and from down to up as Y axis. Good. So with the help of this, let's explain a repeat property in CSS. So when I take you back to CSS, and you can see we have repeat here. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and then remove this repeat. Okay, so let's remove this repeat like this, and then we're going to talk about repeat X and repeat Y. But before we talk about repeat X and repeat Y, let me quickly reduce the size of my image. Okay, so the size of my background, and that's the image inside. So I'm going to give it a background size. So background size. And do you know why this has 10 red? I'll explain to you why it has 10 red. Who can guess? It has 10 red because we did not close this particular one. Good, that's why it turned red. So we have background size here, and with this background size, we're going to give it like 300 pixels. Okay, we're decreasing the size of our image. Okay, after that, close it. Just go ahead and close it like this. After you close it, let's go to our web browser, reload this page, and as you can see, our image has been reduced in size and is still repeated. Let's clear our repeat. Okay, so background repeat, we're going to put no repeat. Okay, so for now, let's put no repeat. We'll go back there, reload, and now you can see our image has reduced in size. Let me prove to you that the image has reduced. So I'll take you to the code editor, and then let's remove this particular code like this, and then just look at the image. Okay, look at it. This is the normal size of the image. Okay, but with the help of background size, we are able to resize that image. Okay, by giving it 300 pixels. You can give it your own size. Now we have resized our image and it's looking smaller. I want to use that to explain something to you quickly. Now our image has been reduced like this. Good. Now we want our image to repeat. We want our image to be repeated on the web page. To do so, go ahead and remove this no repeat and put repeat there. Okay, so just put repeat there. Go back to your web browser, reload. You can see the image has been repeated a couple of times on the web page. Now this is what we call x-axis. From here going, we have x-axis. Here going, we have x-axis. So that's from left to right or right to left is x-axis. And beneath, because below here, we also have one from here all the way to here. Good. Equally, we have y-axis from down to up, down to up, down to up, and down to up, or up to down. So this is what we call x repeat. From up to down is, sorry, from up to down is y repeat. Up to down, y repeat. So all those images that are arranged from the top downwards are y repeat. And those that are also arranged horizontally from left to right are x repeat. So these are repeating on the x-axis. Good. So we can decide to eliminate all those images that are on top and down and leave only one x repeat. Let me explain that further using code. So now we have our images repeated on the web page. Good. This is what I want. So I'm not going to explain to you the x repeat value. So I'll come down and put background repeats like this, and then I want to work on my x repeat. So repeat x like this. Good. And then I'll go to my web browser and reload, and as you can see, it's only x value that is repeated on the web page. You can see it's only one is repeated once on the x-axis. You can see that. I hope you can see that. Let's go ahead and change the x repeat x to repeat y. So let's remove this and put y there. Repeat y, and I will take you to the web browser, reload, and as you can see, it has now been repeated from up to down on the y-axis once. You can see that. Perfect. So that is repeat properties, or property in CSS. You can make it repeat on x-axis once, on y-axis once, or even on the whole page. But if you want it to repeat on the whole page, you have to use the repeat value. Okay, the repeat value. So we're going to remove the repeat y, and then you leave it as repeat. So when you leave it as repeat, it's going to be repeated on the web page. You can also put no repeat. Okay, no repeat. And the reason why I'm stressing on this is that a lot of people are confused about, and they don't understand this concept, repeat properties. Okay, so that is it. No repeat. Good. Now we go to our web browser, reload, and it's not repeated. Now it's one on the web page. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and talk about positions. We can position this left, position it center, position it right, bottom, top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left. Let's do that, because what I'm talking about is all theory. So we're going to practice. Then we come down and then we put our fourth property, which is background position. So we put background position, and this time you can put right center. So go ahead and put right like this there, and then we'll go to our web browser, reload, and this image will move from left to where? Right. Now you can see it has been moved to the right, but in the middle. Why? The reason is that when you specify a position, let's say right, button, top, and left, this or your object is going to be positioned center until you specify whether you want your image to be positioned right top or right button, left top or left button. Okay, so let's demonstrate this and solve that problem. Okay, so we'll go to our code editor, and then our image right now is right, so just put top to it. So when you put top, your image will now move from this center right to right top. Okay, so reload and it will move to the top. When you put bottom there, it will move to the bottom. When you put center, it will move to this center, okay, here, until you put center top. Okay, so let's do that. You can put center here, put center like this, and then this image is going to be in the middle like this until you specify whether you want it to be bottom or top. Okay, so that is positions in CSS. So until you put top there, it's going to be in the middle unless you specify the position. Okay, so you put top there and it will move top. You also put bottom there and bottom down, and it will be moved from the top to the down. Okay, we are done with positions. Let's talk about the other property in CSS regarding backgrounds, which is attachment. That's background attachment. Okay, so let's demonstrate it. But first of all, I'll go to my background.html, and inside my background.html document, inside our div, because this is where we are doing the background styling. Okay, so inside our div, we're going to put heading there. Okay, so let's put h1 or h2 here, and inside here I'm going to put some text there, which is learning CSS. I'm going to duplicate it, just bear with me. Okay, so we duplicate it this way. Good, so we have text inside our div, which is our container. Now when I take you to our web page and reload, now you can see that we have h1 with what? Our text. We are able to scroll. Okay, you can see that we are now able to scroll. Good, but this is not what I want. I have to continue with my duplication, so I'll continue duplicating it until the image is not visible. Okay, good. So now we have enough text on our web page, and then you can see our scroll bar here. Good, this is what I want. Now you can see that our image is vanished. You can see our image. Okay, perfect. We want our text to only scroll, but we don't want our image and our background to follow. We want our background to remain. Okay, we want our background to remain. That's where attachment come in. So with attachment, we're able to make this particular image or this background fixed. So let's go ahead and talk about. I'll go to my CSS file, and then I'm going to give it a property called background attachment, and then we're going to put fixed. Okay, so when you put fixed there, that means your background is going to be fixed no matter how you scroll. Okay, our image is now fixed in one position, but there's a problem. This is because our text and our image is inside a div. Okay, so the scrolling effect, you are not seeing the fix, how fixed it is. Because of that, I'm going to change the height of my div to something like, let's say, let's give it 1000. Okay, so 1300 pixels. That way you'll be able to see it better. Okay, good. So now let's reload this page, and now you can see that the div is big and our text is now inside it. Now let's scroll and you can see that the text is moving, and what, the image is fixed. You can see that the text is moving and the image is fixed. You can see that. So the problem is we actually have everything inside a div, a container. That's why. But if we had applied this styling to a body, the body of our web page, this would have been a problem. Okay, so you can see that our image is fixed in a position and there's no problem with it. Okay, so that is the last property I want to talk about, which is attachment. You can make it scroll. You can make it scroll. So change the fixed to scroll. That way the image will scroll alongside the text. So when you scroll, the image is vanished. You can see that, and the text too is going. You can see that is it. So that's background attachment. We're able to fix objects on the home page or on our web page. I hope this lecture has been informative and it has satisfied your curiosity on backgrounds when it comes to CSS. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in my next episode where we'll be talking about a lot of CSS stuff. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider subscribing, because I release videos like this showing you how to do a lot of things with websites. See you later.